What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Jaden, and today I want to discuss whether entrepreneurs should spend their time reading books. So let's get right into it. First of all, yes and no. Yes, entrepreneurs should learn things from books because I find that a lot of the information in books is something that you can't actually access without, especially if you're living in somewhere remote where you don't have access to entrepreneurs and business owners. Then definitely reading books is a great way to go out there and get some extra knowledge. But no, because so many people get caught in the trap of constantly learning and never execute. And look, a business book isn't supposed to be like a fiction book. A fiction book will tell a story and take you through a journey, where a business book is generally one idea wrapped up in about 800 words. So if you've got something like this, where it's basically describing the next wave of technology, what we've got here is 220 pages to get that point across, which if you're reading word for word is a massive waste of time in any business, especially if you're a starting business that isn't making any money yet. So what do I suggest? I suggest that you, instead of spending all your time learning, instead spend it executing. All right, so let's back up a second and just compare a couple of entrepreneurs that you've probably heard of on the internet and just on YouTube alone. So first of all, we've got Tai Lopez, and Tai Lopez has famously built his brand around reading books. If you look at his TEDx talk, it's all about how he's read a book a day. If you look at any of his YouTube content, he's generally reading books. His Instagram is reading books. It's all about how many books this guy consumes. But what you have to understand about Tai is that he doesn't read every word in every book that he reads. He does something called speed reading, so he doesn't actually consume every word. Instead, he will maybe read the table of contents, flick through to the back, find the main points, look through each chapter to find where the main points are in the story, and go through it like that. So straight off the bat, he's not reading every book that he has in his garage, here in his garage, but instead, he's only taking the main points from them. But I struggle to see how that's actually going to help him in his business other than the brand play that is actually in motion. Because there's a lot of stigma with reading books, like that guy's smart. Like if he reads a book a day, this guy must be a genius. And then you see him driving his Ferrari and all the girls at his place and the mansion that he lives in. You have to kind of assume that the books are helping him do that. And then you kind of look further into him, and then he has a program that he offers. And what you're thinking as a consumer is, okay, this guy learns a lot on a daily basis. If I do the same and purchase his course where he will teach me and give me a lot of information as well, I'm bound to end up like this guy who has everything under the sun. But look, that's just not the case. Because as I said, he's not reading every book. What he's doing is more using those books to build his brand, to build his followership, and then to sell his course. Which isn't to say there's anything bad with that. I'm just pointing out what he's actually doing. And then contrast this with someone like Gary Vee, who has famously said that he has written more books than he's ever read. Now, given he's probably got ghostwriters to write that, that's neither here nor there. That just tells you that he's way more focused on executing in his business than consuming content. So look, here's what I recommend. As you can see, I've actually got a lot of books myself. I haven't read through all of them, but I have consumed a few. But what I recommend to you guys is a concept called just-in-time learning, where if you've got a product and maybe it's time to market it, what you can do is pick up a marketing book and then you'll learn about marketing. And then the next step isn't to read more about marketing, it's to go out there and execute on the ideas in the book. If you don't know how to make a product, you pick up a book on products or maybe a course on products, go through that, figure out what your next steps are and execute on that. That way you're living this hybrid of actually executing and then learning from these top class performers. So look, let's wrap up with some books that I actually do recommend and some ways of consuming that I actually do. So first of all, I consume most of my books via audible.com. It's a website that you can go to. I don't have any affiliate links or whatever. Just go to audible.com. I think I pay, as an Australian, it's about $12 a month. And basically you get a credit each month, which you can use to get a new book each month. And then basically I would suggest getting both the 4-hour work week, which a lot of business people don't like, but for me, it opened my eyes to the possibility of all of this working. I myself didn't really come from an entrepreneurial background. None of my parents were into it. I knew I was into it because I did sell a lot of stuff as a child, but I didn't really know how to connect the dots. So that was really a foundational book that did help me in my journey. And then the other book that I do recommend is The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. Again, you can find that one on Audible, and basically it'll show you through, especially for tech entrepreneurs out there, it'll show you the process of actually putting together a product that customers will buy. All right, I think that's all for this video. And just to summarize, should entrepreneurs read books? Sure, but don't spend all your time doing it. Use just-in-time learning, learn what you need to learn, go and execute, then come back and learn the next thing to make sure that you're actually progressing in your business and not getting caught in this loop of constant learning and never actually doing. Alright guys, that's all for this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, click down below to do that. Leave a like on this video, and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Alright guys, take it easy. Cheers.